Okay, we're here. Hello everyone, welcome to another day of casting Alchemy League Season 8. Today, as you can see from the title, we have 3 different sets. So let's take a look at the draft for the first one. And let's introduce the players. Also, hi Luriloza, hi Tech, good to see you here. So, for our first set, we have PlushWerewolf against César. Let's take a look at them. So, PlushWerewolf, he is a player from the United States. As you can see, he is around 1100 with a maximum of 1300. His opponent is going to be César, who is around 1100 himself, currently sitting at his highest. So there's a slight elo advantage for PlushWerewolf, and César is from Spain. Now, what can I say about these two players? So César has been with us since the previous season. So he is back for more, because apparently he liked what he got. And PlushWerewolf, he hasn't played in many seasons of the tournament, of the league, but he has known tech for a long time, so he is used to custom maps. So slight elo advantage and slight experience advantage, I would say, to PlushWerewolf. But César had some crazy games in the previous season, so I don't think that slight advantage that PlushWerewolf has is going to be an issue for him. Also, I just noticed, because as you might know, I used AOE Insights to do the player introduction. I'm now using AOE2.gg because the Alchemy League site just simply has the links to the profiles, so I figured, well, it's easier than actually looking for the proper profile in AOE2 Insights. And I just noticed, is this number the ranking in their country? I think it is. I'll have to check, but that's a nice addition to the player profile. Anyway, let's look at the draft. So we have Island as our map for game 1. Yes, so this was played in round 2 of sprint 1. And as for our second map, we're going to have Arabia. Now, as for civs, we have 5 random bans, as usual. So Georgians, Japanese, Poles, Bohemians, and Teutons. PlushWerewolf went on to ban Mayans and Chinese. And sniped Italians from César. Now César, he banned Mongols and Persians, and he sniped Dravidians. That leaves PlushWerewolf with Portuguese, Franks, and Sicilians, whereas César is left with Goths, Armenians, and Koreans. And I'm happy to see Goths available to César because he had a crazy game in the previous season on Prayer. He ended up losing, but that was an insane game where he was Goths against Italians, and he basically was all over the map. He went to 3 of the corners to Fishboom. It was insane. Oh, sorry, Tex, I'm sorry. I really need to tinker with the Nightbot because, I don't know. It shouldn't give you that message. I'm sorry. I hope it didn't ban you. If it did, just contact me on Discord and I can sort it out. I don't think it's a ban. Okay, it's not a ban. Whew. Thank God. Also, hi César. Oh, you had it. Okay, you were the Italian player. Okay. Oh, it was Bender and Chill playing against the Gods. Okay, I got you two guys confused. Sorry. Okay, so that was the draft. Let's jump into the game. Is it showing? Yes, it is now. Okay, so we have Highland. And we have César in the blue playing as the Koreans. And we have PlushWerewolf in the green playing as the Portuguese. And first thing we need to check is we have a double palisade generation. So no fortified walls, no fortified palisades. This is the weakest kind of protection you're going to have on your tower on these maps. Quick reminder that if this tower dies, you die. If your king dies, you die. If your TC dies, you die. If your opponent controls the monument for 500 years, you die. And yeah, the tower HP is random, although I believe it should be... Yeah, it's random, but it's the same for both players. So otherwise it would be kind of unbalanced. Okay, so we already have the monument in control of PlushWerewolf. Now, this countdown will continue even if César takes control of it. But if it goes below 100 years and control changes, it will go back to 100 years. Oh yeah, Tech is mentioning that Jasuki worked on this version of the map, and he's César's friend. Well, Jasuki being from Spain as well. Actually, correct me if I'm wrong, César, but you joined the league because of Jasuki, right? Also, hello, Bender and Till, welcome. And okay, so let's talk saves. We have an hybrid map. Now, both saves are going to be great for that. We have an interesting generation here, which is that you cannot sail over this ice. So let's say one player docks here, he's going to be able to fishbone without being interrupted unless his opponent docks this side as well. But I'm guessing people will... They will just go for the middle water, right? Because there's more fish. Now both saves are pretty good when it comes to water play. Oh, never mind. César is going this side. But I would prefer Portuguese in this situation if we're talking purely water, and that would be because Koreans do not have access to demolition ships, and this map, you don't really want to play galleys on this one. You will mostly be playing fire ships, and demolition ships are a great way to equalize the fire ship numbers on the map. Now that said, Koreans, if César is thinking about some kind of castle drop on the tower, could be interesting. Actually, look at this, both players going for the wall. So Koreans, they can mine stone faster, right? So if you're thinking about some kind of fast castle drop play, it's going to be easier for you because you can just mine this faster. You can put less vills on that, so you can have them on other resources. It's a pretty nice bonus. On the other hand, though, Portuguese, they get wood from their berries, so that's going to be helping with a fast castle build as well. So it's not like PlushWerewolf has no fast castle potential. And realistically, both saves tend to want to play with their unique units, right? Just because of how strong both are. Now, I don't think I've ever seen them face off. Ooh. Oh wait, no loom from... Oh, actually from neither player. But I would guess Warbagons would end up winning. At least in a 1v1 scenario. Once you get to big messes, maybe the Organ Guns can hold their ground, mostly because, well, the War Wagons are going to be targeting a single unit, so there's going to be a lot of overkill, whereas with the spread damage that Organ Guns have, you do not have that issue. seems like it's going to be fast castle for both of them, because we have no feudal age in. PlushWerewolf went for the loom, and César is up to feudal. Okay, maybe it's not a fast castle, maybe it's just a slightly lower uptime for feudal. I mean, yeah, that would make sense. Because there's chickens, most build orders on water use deer, so it makes sense that he was a little bit late. Wait, he lost the bill. Where? Because I saw the attack notification, but then... I'm sorry, I need to see where he lost that bill. Oh, over here, okay. Okay, so yeah, César loses a bill to the wolf. Yeah, he wanted to go and wall that one up. Now, PlushWerewolf should know. Okay, PlushWerewolf knows about the dock. He probably does not realize that you cannot sail over this. So my guess, yeah, he made a second dock over here. My guess is that he's going to be trying to attack that dock with maybe some fires. And then realize, oh wait, I cannot get across this. Also, it looks like César has kind of forgotten about his king. He needs to be careful about that. Well, Tech, we do not see walling the crossings as much. Simply because, well, you can just build a transport ship and get over. Actually, I remember... So, I think it was Yosoi Pacho? No, it was Delay. When I was playing Delay in round 1, he actually walled the crossing, but it was on rivers, so we started with the transport and I just crossed over. But yeah, here on Islands, it makes no sense because you actually have to invest into the transport ship. Now, knowing that this is not crossable and having watched previous sets, if I was in PlushWerewolf situation, I would probably just wall this, right? Just wall the coastline. Because if you think back at... Ooh, who was it? Demon set. He basically got screwed over by the fact that his opponent transported vills on the other side and got castle dropped. It was either him or his opponent. I'm really bad at remembering who was who. Also here we can see why fires work better on this map, especially here if you have this closed off, because it gives you even less space to maneuver the galleys. So both players completely walled. Of course, César walled in stone, so that's going to be a little bit more durable. Which is good, because it seems like PlushWerewolf will be winning the water fight. And if these were palisades, they would go down so fast to the fires. So PlushWerewolf, he's going to be winning water. He's very close to going up to castle. And honestly, he's got a dock. He's got 2 docks over here. If he clicks castle now and sends everyone to stone and makes a transport ship, he could very easily castle drop this tower. Because César, he's investing in water. PlushWerewolf knows that César has no access to demos because he's Koreans, and so he knows that as long as he takes down the docks and keeps them patrolled with the fires, he should not be too worried about his opponent coming back on water. But at the same time though, César, yeah, he's losing water here, but his fish was on this side. So economically speaking, he should not be that far behind. Granted, PlushWerewolf is he's adding fishing ships. On this side, that's smart. Oh, you discovered it in this game. Yeah. Yeah, I think Koreans and Romans are the only two civs with no demos. Which makes it kind of sad when you are playing maps like this. On standard islands, they're actually insane because of the bonuses. But yeah, on maps like this where you very, very often want to be making demos, they don't feel as great. Okay, that is. We have 6 people on stone for PlushWerewolf. He's not going to have enough to drop a castle by the time he gets to Castle Age. I wonder if he knows that this is... I wonder if he remembers that this is sudden deathmatch. And so he's not going to be able to add more TCs. Yeah, tech, that's something that has always bothered me about the tech trees. Aztecs, Mayans, and Incas, they have access to petards and demos, but no gunpowder. I really wish they made some changes about stuff like that. And that they gave them something on water to compensate for the fact that they have no access to cannon galleons nor dromons. But yeah, I mean, water balance is very clearly not on the devs' minds. But still. So PlushWerewolf is in castle. For the time being, okay, he's going to develop his eco. César, he actually has a nice eco behind this. He is ahead in Vils. Granted, he's 1 inch behind, so that kind of evens out. Economic upgrades wise, yeah, he's just missing wheelbarrow, but that's fine. He doesn't have that many farms, so it wouldn't be justifiable. PlushWerewolf going very heavy on water. Holy. Yeah, I keep looking back at this game because okay, it would be fun. Would be funny if PlushWerewolf just went for something like Knights and randomly found the king and killed him, but I don't think that's what's going to be happening. There's going to be a castle drop somewhere. Okay, César up to castle. Oh, actually, one thing I was not considering is that PlushWerewolf has control of the monument in the middle. So as long as he keeps water control over here, he does have a win condition. He's almost halfway through there. And if he decides to use the monument as a win condition, then there's going to be... well, it's going to be quite a long game. It's going to be at least another 20 minutes in-game time. Which is, what, 15 minutes in real life? Okay, the castle goes on the shoreline. Wait, does PlushWerewolf know where the... oh. Okay, he hasn't scouted the tower, but you should know that the way the map generates, you kind of have the towers on opposite sides of the map, right? So you should know, you should have a general idea of where the location is. Okay, so César is opting for tower defense on the shoreline. Now he's going to get guard tower for free, being Koreans. So that should be nice. Yeah, they do get heated shot, which we might end up seeing. I mean, it would make sense, right? You get guard tower for free. If you just drop a university and get heated shot, then suddenly you have a nice way to come back on water. that's your objective. Or yeah, he could make a castle as well. Okay, I like this from PlushWerewolf. Just keep an eye on the shoreline. Of course, if César hits the right timing, he might be able to eventually sneak a transport ship here and drop a castle. He would have to time it perfectly, so if he gets the transport out at the same time as his villagers reaching the shoreline, then even if PlushWerewolf sees that, he's not going to be able to react in time. Especially if César sends something like 20 vills. Okay, we have War Galley coming in. It is going to be for fire ships. Now, Koreans do not have demolition ships, but one tool they have to deal with fire ships would be the turtle ship. But that's quite expensive. I forget how much it is precisely. Okay, it doesn't say, but I think it's something around 200 wood and 180 gold. It's very expensive. But we have Imperial Age from PlushWerewolf. Imperial Age will give him trebuchets to take down these towers. We'll give him fast fire to take down the docks. And I mean, the TC is quite close to the shoreline, so if he's going for the sudden death mode, he could just clean the coastline, load something like, I don't know, 6 trebuchets in a single transport, load off the trebuchets here, and just, you know, range the TC. Because, I mean, this is 10 range, plus the 6 from the TC, it's 16 range. So, I think the traps could range the TC from here. Okay, Karenin coming in, that's going to increase the armor on the war galleys. And eco-wise, César is actually ahead. He's got more vills. PlushWerewolf has more efficient ships, but they're not very efficient at the time for the time being. Oh, okay, he's getting fish traps, but they're going to be ranged by the towers. Okay, but César has enough stone for a castle if he wanted to. And I think, yeah, I think if you see Imperial now, you just make a single transport and you YOLO it. But it doesn't look like that's his intention. And this is actually the second set I've casted where people seem to be forgetting about the towers. Which is funny because all of the sets I casted, it's either people going straight for the towers, sometimes even making the game like 5 minutes long, or they just straight up ignore it. By the way, if you want to see a crazy game in that sense, just go watch the series between Raid and Shikso. Especially game 2. Game 2 was insane. Okay, we have Imperial from César as well. But he's making the castle... We have a trade cog? Wait. Did that trade cog get some gold? No, right? Okay, no. It didn't get any gold. Okay. That would have been funny. Oh, you never made it. He's never made a transport ship. Oh. I mean, yeah, I guess many people do not play water maps, so that would make sense. Elite Caravel from PlushWerewolf, okay. We have Cannon Galleon in. Okay, so I think PlushWerewolf just wants the monument win. He doesn't seem to be thinking about anything else. He's just thinking about holding this position, holding the water. We have Upsong for the Koreans, so that's going to be giving the towers +2 range. Which is not going to be of any use against the Cannon Galleons because they have 13 range. Of course, the moment he gets Bracer, then he has the same range as Cannon Galleons. But then PlushWerewolf only needs to get Siege Engineers, and he's going to be outranging that. Or Elite Cannon Galleon, which, yeah, he gets. Hey, Tinia. So they are both around 1100. So César is 1100, PlushWerewolf is 1100 as well, but he has had a highest heal of 1300. So elo-wise, there's a slight advantage for PlushWerewolf, but as I was saying at the start of the stream, César has actually given a hard time to players above him elo-wise, so but yeah, it looks like PlushWerewolf, he's eventually going to be getting the monument win. At this rate, he's just bombarding the coastline. We have Bracer in, so these towers should have... Oh, no, because it's Elite Cannon Galleon, so yeah, no. They're never going to be... They're never going to be hitting the Cannon Galleon. And they are also going to be killing the traps. That's unfortunate. Again, César has so much stone. If he could just drop a castle on the tower, it would be game over for PlushWerewolf. But he seems to be maybe a little bit too focused on taking control of this section of the water. Again, he's got control of this, because this cannot be sailed. Well, about that, it's not just King of the Hill. It's King of the Hill, it's Sudden Death, it's Regicide, there's Relic Victory, there's Wonder Victory, and each player has this kind of special tower, fortified tower. If this one goes down, the player loses the game. So yeah, we have 1,000 ways to die this season. And honestly, now that I think about it, it might be that PlushWerewolf did not forget about the other win conditions. He just figured, well, nobody's going for the monument victory in this tournament, right? They're all going to be trying to get the towers, get the TCs, get the kings. I'm going for the monument. I'm going to be that guy. Okay, but yeah, César calls the GG. He knows he's got no way to take this one back. And he sees the organ cannons. He's not going to be able to push those. So yeah, PlushWerewolf takes the first game. Yeah, yeah, César, I can see that. But honestly, this is why I think people should be playing more tournaments like this, right? Because then you look back at the games and you realize how many different things you could have done, and that kind of helps you thinking in different ways when you play even ranked games, right? So yeah, it's a shame that, I mean, this starting dock would have been fine if you had just remembered about the transport ships and remembered about the win condition. But yeah, definitely having the starting dock here did not help you with winning water. I mean, if you were any other civ, then it's not the biggest deal, right? You make a couple of demos and you maybe take it back. But yeah, as Koreans, no, you really need that fire ship advantage. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that kind of reasoning, right? You're playing a water map and you think, oh, I've lost water, the game is lost. That's natural to think. Okay. So, let me load up game 2. And let's see what César is going to be doing to take it back. Game 2, which is going to be... Oh, you thought... Okay, you thought the tower was... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I can see that. But no, you just have to look at your tower and look at the opposite side of the map, and that's where the enemy tower is going to be. But that's fine, right? It's all experience. We still have, what, 6 rounds left? 2 from Sprint 1 and 4 from Sprint 2. It's fine. Honestly, I think people should just be using the first sprint as a testing ground. Because you have so many things you have to be aware of that you don't really know going into the game what is going to be working. So yeah, I think we're going to have some crazy games around in the first sprint, and then Sprint 2 people are just going to be calming down a little bit, play a little bit more conservative, and we'll actually have longer games and whatnot. But yeah, anyway. We are on Arabia, and we have Sicilians from PlushWerewolf and Armenians from César. Okay. So I love Sicilians. I'll just be honest about it. I love Sicilians. Especially since they gave them the dungeon in Dark Age. I just love playing against Sicilians. Now, on the other hand, I love playing as Armenians as well, because you can get long swords in Feudal Age, and that opens up so many different plays, especially here, right? If César can rush this with long swords, the tower is going to be going down, especially if he gets Arson. Because again, we have a generation with just palisades, so no fortified walls, no fortified palisades. At the same time though, Sicilians, they could try to go for a dungeon rush on the tower, and then from the dungeons you can add the sergeants. Now it's probably not going to be a great idea because your opponent has a barracks over here, but it's something to keep in mind. Although realistically we'll just see. We might actually see some kind of fast castle play from the Sicilians. And just to try to get a castle on the tower. Because honestly, if 10 builds can get here and they start building the castle, you're not stopping them because you have faster building fortifications, and that applies to castles as well. It used to be 100% for castles as well, but they just realized, well, no, because that makes Sicilian castle drops a little bit too obnoxious, so they changed that to 50%. So for the time being, pretty standard build from both of them. There's a lot of vills on wood for PlushWerewolf, so I don't think that's going to be a feudal play. Yeah, this amount of vills tells me César is going for a feudal play. Also, the version of Arabia that we have in this tournament can be unforgiving when it comes to deer spawns. Like this one. This patch is quite close to PlushWerewolf's TC, but I mean, César has one over there. I guess he pushed the other one, right? Because he should have had a... Yeah, I should have had a patch close to his TC. That's an interesting lumber camp from PlushWerewolf. Also, it's double lumber camp from PlushWerewolf, with a lot of vills on wood. Huh. We do have feudal from both players. Okay, César, he's on gold, so this is going to be an archer play. Yeah, he's not making the barracks because he already has one. He's actually adding militia. Ooh. He's adding a lot of militia. Okay, PlushWerewolf almost losing the better players to start with. Ah yeah, that's something I forgot to mention in game 1. On these settings, you start with the king and a better. You have no scout. And it's going to be even 5 militia from César. I mean, again, if he shows up here with, I don't know, 6 longswords, I think that's going to be enough, especially if he brings the better as well. And it is scouts from PlushWerewolf. That makes sense, right? Sicilians, you receive less bonus damage. So their scouts are actually decent against spears. You still do not want to take the fights. But it's a little bit easier to survive. Okay, we have 7 militias on the field from César. Okay, he's going to take the petter. That damages the militia, but that's fine. Now there is a... Now he doesn't need to be worrying about the petter going to his tower. Which is amazing because it is going to be buying him so much time if this area ever gets attacked. He's now getting longsword. I like the way he was microing the men-at-arms. Or rather the militia. He was baiting his opponent, waiting for the men-at-arms upgrades. Now he takes the fight. He's going to be able to clean everything. Oh yeah, he's also taking the hill. This is going to be massive. Yeah. I mean, he lost 3 militia, but he killed, what, 4 vills and 3 scouts? Maybe even 4 scouts? Yeah, 4 vills. 4 vills and 4 scouts, yeah. Oh, actually... Ooh, is one of those kills the petard? Huh. Now, good news for PlushWerewolf is that César cannot realistically take the tower now with these militia, with these men-at-arms, because this tower has more attack than his standard wall. 3 more attack. So it can very easily kill these already weak men-at-arms. But we have a longsword coming in. Okay, let's go, César. Let's go. He is coming with the petard. Is he going to use the petard on the... Ooh. I think it's kind of a waste to use the petard on the palisades. Yeah, because now you're only going to be able to fit a single man-at-arm on there. Do we have arson? Ooh, that's big. Missing arson is quite big, actually. But, I mean, behind all of that, César is dropping 16 farms with horse collar. PlushWerewolf is on 12, which is not too bad, but overall, I think better position for the time being from César. Now, he needs to be careful to not let these scouts do too much damage to his base. He's going to save that Vil. He needs to small wall this. It's not easy to wall your woodlands when you're using the mule carts, because you cannot use the mule cart as part of the wall, the way you would with a lumber camp. So yeah, I like that he's just going for the big wall. He needs to realize there's a hole there, though. Okay, there's a blacksmith, so that tells me he's going to be getting the armor or the attack. And we have more man-at-arms coming. And he might be able to intercept these Vils. Okay, no, he's going straight for the tower. Okay, armor coming in. But now we have archers from PlushWerewolf. There's a donjon going up here as a defense. César might be able to deny... No, okay, it's going up. But he could sit on the other side and take it down. No, there's archers. Fletching coming in just now. Okay, yeah, I think César needs to abandon the longsword idea for the time being. And go... Yeah, he's going to add a natural range. Actually, 2 archer ranges. I mean, overall, César is still in a better position, in my opinion. He is behind in Vils, but that's because of the idle TC time. But at the end of the day, he's working with Armenian Eco, which is way better than Sicilian Eco. So if he can hold this... Ooh, okay. Yeah, PlushWerewolf does not go in there because there's too many Vils. Okay, archers. Would have probably preferred skirmishers here. And we have wheelbarrow. Okay, no, suddenly I prefer PlushWerewolf's position. Yeah, now he clicks up to castle, and there's going to be knights soon. He's on stone. I don't think that he's going to have enough stone for a castle by the time he goes up. But yeah, I mean, he could just keep map control with the knights and eventually drop a castle here. César is going to stonewall, which is nice, but at the same time, it doesn't save you from a castle drop, right? Let's say a castle goes up here, it just attacks the tower. Oh yeah, I can see the reasoning into making archers because you want to keep the food, but at the same time, you need to realize that you have... Well, in this case, no, because, you know, PlushWerewolf made some archers and then stopped, but realistically speaking, if you're later to ranges, then you're going to be behind in archer numbers. So archers are kind of a riskier play. If you have that much gold, you might as well just, I don't know, just drop a market instead. I mean, it worked out in this situation because, well, PlushWerewolf stopped making archers and was on a single range. You were on 2. But yeah, that was why I said I would have preferred skirmishers. But at the end of the day, if it works, it's fine, so... Okay, castle is in. We have the first 2 knights coming out. No castle age upgrades yet, but that's fine. How many archers do we have? Oh, it's 11 archers and 4 longswords, so he could take down the knights if he wanted to, especially if he takes the hill. Yeah, PlushWerewolf was a bit too hasty here. Yeah, longswords. If it's 2 against 1, they actually win against knights. Of course they lose 1v1, but they basically have the same attack, right? Okay, the archers need to be microed back. PlushWerewolf has the heal, so he's going to have the advantage there. There's a TC, which is going to be helpful. Crossbow and Balkan coming in, okay. There aren't too many knights, so if César can keep these archers alive... Ooh, actually no, there are a lot of knights now. How many stables? 2? Yeah, 2 stables. The tower here has been completely secured with the dungeons. Yeah, PlushWerewolf is going to try and get to the tower, but he's going to be finding stone walls, so he's probably going to be considering a castle drop instead. Ooh, 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 nice. Nice. Okay, he was going for a surround there. Yeah, yeah, there it is, there it is. Nice micro on the knights. And yeah, PlushWerewolf can just basically snowball from here, right? He can go to the wood line. Targeting the archer range, I like that. Just take your opponent off military. Oh, he's actually going for the castle drop on César's face. Okay. I mean, it's just 5 vills, but it's Sicilians and there's 16 knights here supporting. That castle is going up. Yeah, now we have pikes on the field for César. We have two-handed swordsmen as well. Okay, more vills coming. Yeah, that castle is going up. And then César can just make some patterns and take it down if he wants to. Yeah, and César calls this easy. Okay, so PlushWerewolf takes the game 2-0. Sorry, takes the set 2-0. It's a shame that the longsword play didn't work. But okay, I'll go back. So yeah, I think he just needed to be patient before attacking the wall. Right, just wait for longsword, maybe get arson because that makes a big difference. And then I think I say this every single time I cast this tournament, but I don't like using the pattern on the palisades. Because the pattern takes down about half HP from the tower. So, and that's huge. But yeah, I think César had the right idea. He was maybe a little bit too hasty. And maybe doubled down too much. Right? If this fails, I think you need to switch out of that. You're still in a good position because he took so many vills here. But yeah. It could have worked, I think. It is definitely doable. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm guessing this was the first time you tried this, so it makes sense. But I think if you can just, you know, if you get some practice on it, you can actually pull it off. Arson is such an incredible tech. Especially in feudal, it makes so much of a difference. Even if you're playing, you know, just men-at-arms and you're not playing Armenians, you're playing something else. You just go men-at-arms. Yeah, it's like night and day of a difference. Oh, not with Armenians. Yeah, I think it's tricky with Armenians, right? Because on paper, you think, okay, I get longsword and I get in. But then you realize, oh shoot, longsword is, what, 200 food, 150 gold. That's expensive in feudal age, right? So it's not really easy to balance out. Oh, first game as Armenians. Okay, nice. They're nice save. They have a very good eco. Not many options late game, but feudal and castle, you have a great eco. You have basically all of the options. They're pretty fun to play. Okay, so that's the first set of the day. Let's go. Hey, so Hyder here. I forgot while casting this draft while streaming. Sorry, casting this set while streaming on Twitch. That we had a rule change this season of the tournament, and that would be that sets are no longer required to be. Or sorry. So here's the thing: the league up until now, with the exception of season 1, has been a play all 2 settings, right? You get 4 rounds per sprint, and you have 2 sprints. Now, from this season on, and I think onwards, there has been a rule change. Whereas for a single set, you're still required to have played at least 2 games. But if both players agree to that, they can play a third one. So if you have a set with 2 games, it is still completely fine. it is going to be valid. But if players agree on that, they can play a third game. Now, one thing I'm not able to tell you now is what map is going to be used for game 3, right? Because you have, of course, the map of the round, and then, of course, you have the map for game 2, which has been discarded. Yeah, I have no clue. I gave a quick reread to the tournament handbook, and I couldn't really find the specific line saying what map is going to be, but text handbooks are very, very precise, so I think I just missed it. So hopefully by the next time I'm streaming, I will be able to give you better information. So all of that to say that PlushWerewolf and César did play a third game, but while casting, I did not cast it. I actually saw 3 games being posted in the Discord, but having forgotten about the rule change, I thought, oh well, there must have been a drop, right? They must have had to restart the game, so that's why there are 3 files. And that's what I thought when I downloaded the games. And then when I went into cast, I just casted 2 games, and I was like, okay, set's done, let's go to next. And I completely forgot about the 3rd file. So yeah, I'm going to cast it now offline. I don't see the point of going live just to cast a single game. I'll cast it now. I'm going to edit it into the video, which is going on YouTube. So sorry about that. I now know for future casts that I have to watch out for that. So back to this set, we just saw them, or rather, having this been edited into the YouTube video, you should have seen them play on Highland. It was Koreans and Portuguese, so we put that in here. And then game 2, it was Arabia, and it was Armenians against Sicilians. Now, game 3, it is of course going to be Franks, right, against Goths. Both interesting civs. I'm happy to see Franks. I don't think they've been played a single time in recent seasons of the league. I think I picked them one time actually against, who was it? I think it was Leon, aka Loliet. Yeah, I played against him in the space-themed season. I picked Franks on Jupiter, if I remember correctly. And it didn't go well, so we'll see. So yeah, sorry about that again. I'm going to jump into the game, and let's see what they have in store for us. So game 3 is going to be on Continental, which I think has been banned a lot by players this season. Generally speaking, it is not the kind of map that AoE players enjoy that much, right? It's one of those very old maps that you had in Age of Kings as well, like Coastal, Continental. And they're so old that the map script is so unpredictable because nobody bothered to rework them because they were not that popular to begin with. Ooh, do not lose the king to the tower, okay. And so, yeah, people just tend to avoid them. Sometimes you see them in some tournaments. I remember I played... Yeah, I think I played Continental on... What was it? It was a Scottish-themed tournament hosted by Paradox back in... I think it was 4 years ago now. But yeah, that's the only time I actually played this map in tournament settings. So let's talk about a bit about the map. As you can see, it is quite the hybrid map. You have tons of fish, right? But as I was mentioning, the generation can be unbalanced. Right, look at this. I mean, César is complaining about the sheep being too far away, but look at the amount of fish he has easily available to him. It's very close to the TC, right? You make a dock like here, you have 3 fish in the immediate proximity, and then you can just move your village, drop another dock here, and you have all of this fish available to you. PlushWerewolf does not have that, right? I mean, he could move out here. The amount of fish is not the same. He could move out here. The amount of fish is not the same. It's a very unbalanced map. Now, on the other hand, it is true that PlushWerewolf has less access to fish, but at the same time, look at this. If César wants to react to some kind of pressure on his tower, he doesn't have land linking to his base to the tower, right? Because there's a river here. He would have to walk all the way around here. Whereas PlushWerewolf, he can just walk in a straight line. So yeah, both either player has some advantage when it comes to the map, but they also have some disadvantages because of the generation. Now, resources, as you can see, are quite scarce overall. Stone is standard, right? Actually, gold is standard as well, and then you have some extra gold laying around. Again, 2 extra golds are over here. Technically, they're closer to César, but again, there's water, so at the end of the day, it's going to be easier for PlushWerewolf to go and take those. Although there's a tower in the way, so he's probably never going to be bothering about those golds, because to get there, you have to take care of the tower to begin with. But if you take care of the tower, then you win the game, right? So actually, let's see. Does César know? Okay, César knows about the water. And yeah. There we go. Oh no, okay, he's going to take the boar. He's going to take the boar. He's going to mill these deers because he's thinking, no way I'm pushing that. Too much of a pain. And he doesn't have a lumber camp. Hold on. This is a... Oh, he's going for the fish first. I mean, that makes sense, right? It is the fastest food income in the game when you're working with villagers. So you might as well go for that just to get up to feudal faster. And then once that's finished, you just move to the deer, right? Which are going to be nice as gods because you... Of course, your hunt lasts longer, and your hunters carry more food. But yeah, overall, it would be slower, right? First of all, it comes in spikes, right? When you're hunting with a mill like this, instead of having your hunter underneath the TC, your food comes in spikes because you have to wait for the villagers to take the food, and they take a lot of it and bring it back to the mill. Whereas with fish, they carry less, so they're going to, walk back and forth more often than not, more often than how often they would do with hunt. Okay, both players up to feudal. Slight advantage for César. Also, I'm sorry, I have to check real quickly because I forget what the score was like at this point. Okay. So score was 2-0 for PlushWerewolf. Again, sorry, but I casted this, I think 5 days ago, maybe a week ago. Ooh, look at this. PlushWerewolf coming forward with a sneaky veil to wall his opponent in, and if he's... Oh yeah. Yeah, César is not going to be able to come back with the king. I mean, he's got a petard, so he could go and take down the... Oh. Wait. So PlushWerewolf could potentially stonewall here. If he stonewalls, then that king is completely trapped. He can just add a... Yeah, I think... Yeah, there we go. If you're PlushWerewolf and you know about that king, you start adding military. Because now the only way César could save his king. Actually, there are 2 ways. Actually, 3 ways. I'm sorry. So, first way is you have to attack the wall. And you have to break it down. To tear it down, sorry. Second way is that you build a dock, you build a transport, and you take the king, put it in the transport, and you go back home. Now, the third way, which is probably the riskier, but it's also the fastest, is to just delete 2 palisades and get your king inside the tower. Of course, that's going to give PlushWerewolf easy access to your tower to attack the base with villagers. So probably not the best idea. So yeah, César for the time being is going to be like, okay, I'm not going to put the king inside the tower, but I'm going to leave him hang around here. Now, I'm not sure I like archers as a choice from PlushWerewolf. I know he wanted to go for that because it wasn't gold, but I think the moment you see you trap the king, you don't go archers. You just drop a stable, you go with like 3 scouts, because then you can chase down the king, right? Whereas with archers, they're slower, they're going to be more vulnerable to the tower. Look at this, PlushWerewolf walling the tower, and he is looking for that king. Does he know? Ooh, he misses. Ooh, misses the king by a single tile. That's lucky for César. So that king is just going to hide over there. That's another reason why I would prefer scouts in this situation. You can look around the map faster than you do with archers. So behind this, César. Okay, he's not going for a dock. He's adding archers. So he clearly wants to break through this wall. I mean, he still has the pattern, no? Yeah. So maybe he wants to wait until he has some archers. And then once you have like, I don't know, 10 of them, you take down the wall with the petard. And you just go through with archers and you go around and wreak havoc in your opponent's base. Now, PlushWerewolf is up to Castle Age. Castle Age will give him crossbows, will give him Bodkin arrow. So even if archers are just going close to the woodline, they should be able to snipe the king. Ooh, to spot the king. Oh, he wasn't watching. He wasn't looking. Oh, never mind. He's going with archers. I mean, it's palisades. They're going to go down quite quickly. Now, does César know about the... César does not know about these palisades. I don't think he knows how many archers his opponent has on the field. I think he might try... Yeah, he's going for it. He's running. He's running with the king. He might be intercepted by the archers. Let's see. Yeah. PlushWerewolf knows. He knows. He sees that. Archers, no ballistics, so they shouldn't hit. King is faster. Yeah, and there's more jar. Oof. César with a great save over there. So he's gotten rid of this issue. Rather. But the problem is, his opponent is up to Castle Age. He's dropping the Siege Workshop. PlushWerewolf could just think, okay, I was not able to kill your king. That's fine. I'm going to make like 3 mangonels or rams, and I'm just going to take down your tower. And that would be basically the win condition here for PlushWerewolf. Okay, it's mangonels. I like it. I I mean, of course, Rams would probably be safer to take down the tower, but at the same time, you know there's archers on the field from your opponent. So Mangonel takes care of that. And you know there's a barracks over here, right? So if you just go with Rams, unless you show up with, I don't know, 5, maybe even 3, if your opponent starts making infantry and as gods, that's going to be easy. Then the Rams are going to go down. Of course, you have crossbows to support your Rams, but then they're going to be exposed to the tower fire. Whereas if you just have a Mangonel sitting here, the crossbows can snipe the infantry coming forward from outside the range of the tower. So yeah, I like Mangonels. Making knights as well. Of course, he's Franks, so that's good. Doesn't get bloodlines, but his bonus basically makes up for that. Control of the monument changes. Now César is almost castle. He's about 2 minutes away from that. 2 minutes away from that. He's keeping making archers. He just keeps making archers. That's fine. He knows he has the number advantage. If he can get crossbows on these archers, I know gods do not have the best archers because they miss Tampering, they miss Arbalester. But in Castle Age, yeah, Tampering kind of feels bad to not have, but they're still viable. There are plenty of saves who play archers despite not having Tampering, right? Now, PlushWerewolf is not going for the kill here on the tower. Okay, he's messing Mangonels. If César gets the timing right, he might be able to even stop the Mangonels. Of course, he would have to clean this. But he should be able, right? Sure, there are skirmishers, but there's 3 of them. Okay, here we go, Mangonels. Now this tower has way more attack than a normal tower. I think normal towers, like Watts towers, have 5 attack and guard towers have 6, right? And guard towers...
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I will agree with César on that. So the map generation was a bit unfair. At the same time, though, he had a great generation for eco play. Tower is going to go down, and PlushWerewolf will take the game. And César calls the GG. Okay. So the set ends with a 3-0 from PlushWerewolf. With a very strong show, with a very strong play in game 3. I think I do agree with César. This kind of generation is a bit unfair. Well, not a bit. It's quite unfair. But he had some ways to play around it, right? I mean, let's say he just went for a dock in Dark Age for some fish. He then doesn't have to wait for his crossbows to break through here and go all the way around. He just needs to, you know, make a transport and take them over. You maybe take some vills as well to repair the tower. And I think you should be fine in that situation. He wouldn't be behind that much in eco, because he would have fishing ships. Which is something that PlushWerewolf actually had, despite having very little fish over here. So, yes, unfair generation. But there was quite a bit of unfairness when it comes to PlushWerewolf, right? It's just that PlushWerewolf capitalized on the unfairness on his opponent's side. César didn't really capitalize on the unfairness on PlushWerewolf, if you will. Still, I would say a balanced map is better for everyone, just in order to not have situations like this. Because honestly, I say this as someone who is casting, but if I was in César's place, I would probably feel a little bit bitter about this kind of generation. But yeah, so that was the third game of the set. Again, sorry for missing it during the casting session. That's going to be all. I'm going to send you back to the actual video that this section was edited into. Bye bye. Okay, so for our second set we have e1stea against Oladushek. So e1stea, he is a player from Germany. As you can see, he is sitting at around 2k elo at the moment, but he has a highest of 2k1. And he is going to be playing Oladushek, who is a player from Belarus. As you can see, he's actually the highest rated player in Belarus at the moment. He has a highest of 2k, currently not 2k, but what, by 6 elo, so yeah, he's a 2k. He's a full-fledged 2k. And these two players, they've been playing a lot in our league, right? Oladushek, I think he's played every single season. Maybe he skipped one. e1stea, pretty much the same. So this is going to be an interesting set. They're both veterans of the league. They are around the same elo. They have very different playstyles. e1stea, I've noticed he tends to focus a lot on his eco macro, whereas Oladushek, you never know what the guy is going to be doing, right? So the previous season he had this crazy build with their minions actually, and he was just going for the warrior priests on the arena style map. It was insane. He's a very fun guy to watch. I remember in the the Alaska themed season, he did a lot of stuff with men at arms and towers. It's always a pleasure to watch the guy play. Actually, hi Oladushek, welcome. Okay, so we have Oasis as our map for game 1. So this was played in round 1, and then we're going to have Highland for our second game. Alrighty, so okay, we got the usual 5 random bands with the Teutons, Incans, Berbers, Khmers, and Aztecs. Okay, e1stea, he banned Huns and Saracens and went for the Japanese snipe. That leaves him with Chinese, Mayans, and Persians. Okay. Oladushek opts for the Lithuanian snipe. Which, yeah, it makes sense, because Persians were picked after the snipe. So it makes sense that Lithuanians were sniped. And Oladushek was left with Hindustanis, Gurjaras, and Celts. Now, I see the Saracen ban. I've seen other people ban Saracens. I wonder if players are expecting people to go for some kind of crazy build with market, or just using the archer bonus. I don't know, but I mean, overall Saracens can be a nightmare to deal with, so I can understand the choice. Alright, so that was the draft. Let me load up game 1, and we can go straight into it. Hey Press, ciao. Okay, so we have e1stea playing in the blue here as the Chinese, and we have Oladushek in the red playing as the Gorjaras. Let's check. Okay, we got Palisades. This is actually the third game in a row we watched today where we have Palisades instead of Fortified Walls or Fortified Palisades. And we have Chinese from e1stea. So we've seen people just go for crazy Vil rushes here when you have Palisades. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. I'm curious to see if that's what he's going to be doing. Whereas Oladushek, he's playing as the Gorjaras, so I don't know if that's what he's going to be doing. But he could go for some kind of fast castle into, you know, elephant rams and take down the tower with that. Sì, però è il torneo dell'Alchemy. The rules like the game rules or the chat rules? Tournament rules. Oh, okay, so we have a lot of different ways to win the game. So first of all, it's King of the Hill. So there's a monument in the middle. You take control of that. There's a countdown of 500 years. Once it reaches 0, the player who's keeping control of it wins the game. But then we have these fortified towers, one for each player. If the tower goes down, you lose the game. It's also played on sudden death mode, so if your TC goes down, you lose the game. But it's also regicide mode. So if you lose the king, you lose the game. And e1stea, okay, here we go. He's Vil rushing. He's bringing the boys, he's bringing the gores. Let's go. Also, this is Alchemy League, so it's played on standard victory, meaning that Relic victory and Wonder victory are viable. e1stea, okay, going for... is he going to be using... Okay, he actually takes 2 Palisades, that's nice. He walls out the Petard. Okay, the Petard takes 1 villager, that's fine. And the tower gets random HP, right? So we actually got a lower roll of the HP, and so Oladushek is not reacting to this. Did he not get a notification? Okay, so Oladushek's tower goes down, and that gives e1stea the win. Let me check real quick, because... Wait. Okay, no, okay, he got the notification, okay. We had issues with some of the first games of the round where people were not getting notifications on the walls as well, but now that's fixed. Yeah. Wait, no, he knows he was getting the tower rush because he went for the better kill. Oh, you didn't know about the tower. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Well, now you know, I guess. Yeah, that's unfortunate, but I mean, it happens. Okay, so e1stea takes game 1. I mean, nothing much to see here, I guess. So yeah, let's go into game 2. Sì, se ti muore la torre, perdi la partita. Okay, so game 2, we are on Highlands. And e1stea, I think he's going to do something similar, right? Because game 1, he went for Chinese, who start with extra villagers. Here is going with Mayans, who start with an extra villager. So, yeah, we might see a vill rush here. Again, from e1stea. Now, Oladushek, on the other hand, he is playing as Celts. Already going for the dog, okay. I think this is my first time seeing this. Huh. I mean, it's something you see with Lithuanians. Some people can pull it off with Japanese. I don't think I've ever seen it with Celts. This is interesting. Okay. So e1stea... Okay, this time it's going to be a little bit harder for him because we have fortified palisades. So they have double the HP of a normal palisade. Okay, Loom coming in for Oladushek. He should end up having enough wood for... Oh. Okay, he's taking the monument. So the countdown will start. Yeah, I was about to say he's taking the straggler, so he should have enough for a lumber camp, but he went for the fishing ship. And he's going for the second fishing ship. Okay, now he knows e1stea is coming forward. Oh yeah, he's on a timer. 500 years. Okay, yeah, but now Oladushek sees this coming. He's got... Yeah, he's making militia. He's prepared this time. And e1stea... I mean, he's sending everything. And Oladushek is going to be sending bills. He should be fine, right? This tower has a lot of attack. So Oladushek can just take the fight with the vills and the militia. Oh yeah, he's going to target the... Yeah, he's going to target the petard. That's nice. If he can make... Yeah, if he can waste the petard from e1stea, this is amazing. Oh yeah, he's going to be able to take it. Petards are very slow. Yeah, e1stea will be forced to... I love this. I love this. He opened the wall. Oh. Okay, the petard. Yeah, I mean, e1stea still has to break through a single layer. Ooh, thank you for the follow. Yeah, e1stea still needs to break through this layer of wall and then take down the tower. But he's not going to have that much space to attack the tower with vills, right? He's going to have a single square. Now, keep in mind that Oladushek, yes, he has less vills, but he's actually taking food with the fishing ship, so he can refill his vills. e1stea cannot. And yeah, Oladushek can just... Yeah, he can just repair and send more vills. Oh, he's actually putting the vills in the tower, so we're going to have extra arrows. This is going to... Ooh, actually the tower is going down. Hold on. Nah, he's fine. He's fine. He's got this. This is peak AoE, by the way. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Yeah, Oladushek is fine. How many vills from e1stea? Yeah, 4, 3, 2... Yeah. Yeah, Oladushek wins this. Yeah, it's a mess, but yeah. Okay, well, that was fast. But yeah, that goes to show that vill rushing... I mean, once you have double rayers, doesn't really work, right? Still, I'm surprised about the choice of going for the fishing ships. Oh, yeah, the dog definitely won it. Actually, Oladushek, did you not build a lumber camp because you expected this and so you wanted to just have the fishing ships? Or were you trying some kind of weird build? Oh, you didn't? Okay. Oh, you wanted the wonder. Okay. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. No. No, unfortunately, it does not give res. I think it would be a little bit too unbalanced if it did. Just because of how easy it is to get control of it on some maps. I mean, it was a bland choice, but at the end of the day, yeah, having 5 fishing ships just won you the game. Oh wait, you almost lost the king? Really? Oh, because you had it walking around there, yeah. Yeah, that would have not been good. Okay. So I actually expected Oladushek to be the one bringing crazy strats to the game, but it was actually e1stea, so that was a surprise. Okay. Well, that was a fast set. Let's just move on to the next one, I guess. Okay, so the third set for today is going to be OliverAtom against Harooooo. So, Harooooo, he has the highest elo of 2k, currently sitting at 1800, and he is a player from Bosnia-Herzegovina. He's actually the top player in Bosnia, now that we look at it, and he has played in previous seasons of the tournament, so he's kind of a veteran. His opponent is going to be OliverAtom. He has the highest elo of 2k, almost 2k1 actually, and he's currently sitting at almost 2k elo. Now, OliverAtom, if I'm not mistaken, he is a newcomer to the league, but we've had other people from the Numa clan, if I'm not mistaken, so he might know something about the maps that he's going to be seeing. So yeah, slight elo advantage for OliverAtom, but definitely experience advantage for Harooooo when it comes to league settings. So game 1 is going to be on Oasis, so this was played in round 1 as well. And game 2 we're going to have Arabia. Okay. Moving to the civs, we have, as usual, the 5 random bands: Burmese, Slavs, Hindustanis, Romans, and Italians. Pretty nice bands. OliverAtom went on to ban Burgundians and Mayans, whereas Harooooo, he banned Bohemians and Georgians. We got the Portuguese and the Brits on Snipe. So OliverAtom is left with Khmer, Tatars and Turks, whereas Harooooo is going for Bengalis, Chinese and Persians. Okay. I wonder if the Burgundian bans is due to the fact that we are playing on one TC only. So Burgundians could be actually good with recon that. Yeah, about that, Harooooo has access to Persians, which can be insane in this on these settings. So that's going to be interesting to see. Okay. Let's load up game 1. Okay, here we are. So we have Oasis and we have Harooooo in the blue playing as the Persians, and OliverAtom in purple playing as the Turks. Yeah, we have some old school scripts in this tournament. So nowadays in AOE, when you start on a map, you basically already have control of a sheep, and you see where your patch of 4 sheep is. Back in the day, we did not have that. Sheep could spawn like even 20 tiles away from the TC, and this was, well, one of those generations. So both players had difficulties in finding their sheep, but that's fine. At least it's balanced. And they're just going to go around and scout. Also, about sheep, you have a ton of them on this map. On Oasis, you get so many extra patches, it's not even funny. Okay, Harooooo pushing the deer with the petard. We saw a petard kill the deer the other day. Let's see if he makes the same mistake. Maybe he won't. Hopefully he won't. Okay. So, Turks tells me that we might see some kind of fast castle drop play from Oliver. We do have a generation with stone walls instead of palisades. So feudal or dark hit pressure on the tower is not really doable. Meaning that we should be able to see some castle age action from these two players. The other day we actually saw Shikso going for humans with Ram to take down the tower. On this map, that was pretty funny. Okay, OliverAtom is going to be finding these 2 sheep. Harooooo has not sent his king out to get those. I mean, they're not really needed, it's just nice to have them. Ooh, is he going? Oh yeah, he's going to try and lame the Vil. But yeah, Harooooo knows he can just stop the boar with the villager. But yeah, Oliver is just going to stay here with the king and be annoying. Okay. No, the wall type is randomized. So you always have the layer of palisades around the tower, but then the second layer is randomized. It can be palisades, fortified palisades, stone walls, and fortified stone walls. So until you get into the game, you do not know what you're going to be getting. Okay, OliverAtom I mean, he was annoying, but at least he didn't manage to get one will of Harooooo. But that definitely slows him down. So Oliver is going to be up to feudal. Harooooo, it's going to be a while for him. Now, luckily for him, he is Persian. So the moment he clicks, he's going to be up faster. So he's not going to be behind by too many vills. Now, yeah, Oliver was annoying with that king, but at the same... What was that? Oh, okay, Harooooo wasted the... Okay, he wasted the pattern on the woodline. So yeah, Oliver was annoying with the king and caused some delay on Harooooo, but at the same time he has basically 20 seconds more of LTC time, and he's already behind by 6 vills. Now he's going to have a minute, almost a minute and a half, to do some damage to Harooooo before he gets to feudal age and gets his buildings up. But he is... Okay, he's opening scouts, so... Okay, that's not going to be the worst for Harooooo. He can just small wall around his resources. Yeah, he already is walling the villagers on the berries. He could easily wall the villagers on the woodline. And yeah, Harooooo just playing this in a safe way. Ooh! Jesus, that was close. Harooooo playing with fire. Okay, he manages to save the king. I think you just go home with the king. Oh. Yeah. That was a delete, by the way. I don't think he... Yeah, that's unfortunate. Because, I mean, Harooooo, he's still ahead by 4 vills. He's in feudal, he's dropping ranges. He could just, you know, add a couple of spears to take care of the scouts. Well, his barracks is over here, but still. Yeah. That's unfortunate. So Oliver takes game 1. Hopefully Harooooo did not get tilted by that, because, well, we had the king blocking the villagers, and now he loses the king. Yeah, hopefully he'll not be tilted about that, and he's going to be able to take game 2. Okay, so game 2, here we go. It's going to be on Highland. Okay, we have Bengalis for Harooooo here in the green. And we have Tatars from Oliver here in the purple. And again, we have a Stonewall generation. Okay. That's the human wonder, right? Yeah, I think it is. Okay, so Bengalis against Tatars. Oh wait, it's Arabia, not Highland. What am I talking about? Yeah, I'm thinking about which one I prefer here. Actually, what am I talking about? Tatars. They actually have a great counter to the Bengali elephants if it gets to that point. I mean, we're not going to be seeing that here, but it would be fun. So I don't know. Okay, no, we could see that. So I was thinking about, playing Bengalis the Phosphor way, just going for a fast castle into unique unit. And I was thinking whether Harooooo is the kind of player who would do that or not, but then I remembered that in previous season he went fast castle Magyar Hussars. So yeah, we could see that from him. We could actually see fast castle into Ratas. And I mean, the Ratas are not going to be able to take down the tower, but you will have map control. And so you could get, I don't know, to 10 Ratas, and then you use the castle to just make petards, and you take down the tower with petards. Going straight fast castle and trying to drop a castle here on the tower is probably too risky. If you drop it at home, you should be fine. Now, his stones are not the best. You got this one forward, you got this one in the back, which is not too bad. He could probably, I mean, he could just... you could put your veils here, that would be on a hill. That's not too bad. Now, Oliver is not going to be... Okay, yeah, he's using the king to push his tier. He's not going to try and lame his opponent's villager this time. Okay. Okay, he scouted the tower. Did Oliver... Okay, Oliver does not know about the tower yet, but I mean... You know it spawns on the opposite side of the map from yours, right? So... He doesn't really need to actually see it. And again, Harooooo uses the petard on the lumber camp. And I'm not sure why. I mean, it might just be a misclick. But it's kind of a waste, isn't it? Okay, we have 3 more vills in queue. Yeah, I think this is going to be a fast castle. He could already be up if he wanted to, but he just doesn't want to. And Oliver, yeah, he's repairing the lumber camp, which I guess does something for Harooooo, right? He's not on gold, so yeah, he's going to go scouts. Which, yeah, it's going to be fast castle. Okay, does he know about the stone in the back? Oh, he doesn't know about these resources. Now, Petard is going around. He... Okay. Doesn't get the kill. Because Loom was in. Yeah, I know, it's weird. If it is a misclick, it's weird. So I think it might be intentional. I guess both games there's stone walls, so it feels like that pattern is not going to be useful in the long run. So might as well use it on something. But yeah, it does feel weird. I mean, if you're going to sacrifice it anyway, just go and explode a wall, right? I think... oh no, they have the same HP in Feudal and Castle. Sorry, Feudal and Dark Age. But no, wait. A single petter should be able to break a stone wall. So at least use on that one. Okay, scouts out for Oliver. Harooooo. Oliver still does not know about this stone. Okay, Harooooo is up. He gets 2 bills for free because he's Bengalis. He's going to wall, or rather small wall, the wood line. Here's the market. He's missing the. Oh, he doesn't have the wood for a blacksmith. He's going to lose a build. That's fine. That's half of your bonus. Now I know he's going to be selling some stone. Nice quick wall. Oof. Yeah, just run. Yeah, he's going to be selling some stone to be able to go up. At least that's how he played it when he was doing the Magyar thing. He brings the king, maybe to bait the scouts. Oh yeah, that's actually good. Oh, the spear guts. Yeah, that's actually good that you start with the barracks. So if you're going for this kind of play, you can just add a couple of spears at home and send them at home to be able to defend. He's not adding the market though. Yeah, and Oliver still does not know about the stone. He knows about this stone, he knows about that gold, but he sees no villagers on any of those. He's going to lame. Did he lame that? Yeah, I think he lamed the farm. Okay, we're going to have a blacksmith, and that means that Harooooo is going to be able to click up. He can just sell, I guess, 300 stone to get the food and the gold needed to go up. Yeah, there we go. Okay, Oliver is now going to know about the stone, but it's too late. Harooooo just missing 70 food to go up. But I mean, he's going to be okay, right? He can just drop the castle. I guess you drop it here, so that you kind of protect the gold, and then you move to that gold, and you kind of protect the woodline. I mean, you can just wall like this, and the woodline is going to be protected anyway. Okay, and Oliver has invested a lot into Feudal Age. He's actually going to be investing more. He's adding archers, he's adding skirmishers. I don't think that's going to be enough. Yeah, blacksmith just now coming up. But again, if Harooooo drops the castle over here, there's going to be TC fire to protect the villagers from the scouts and the skirmishers and the archers. So yeah, there's going to be a castle from Harooooo. Yeah. He really had a good map for a Phosphorus Rush. He also lucked out in the sense that Oliver. It took a while for Oliver to see the stone. Although realistically speaking, if you're against Bengalis and you see that uptime, I think you should be expecting the Phosphorus Rush. And if you see he's got no villagers on this stone, that gold and that gold, you need to scout better. So yeah, Harooooo kind of lucked out, but at the same time, Oliver could have done a better job, if you will. Okay, wait, we got a tower. Ooh, nice wall. Oh, never mind. I mean, that tower will eventually go down, but... Oh, yes. So remember how I said that it's risky to go for a castle drop here if you're going fast castle? Well, it's not risky if you're keeping your opponent occupied over here. So Harooooo just leaves the base. Yeah, Oliver does not see the vills. He thinks they're going... Yeah, he thinks they're fleeing and they're going to the gold, but no, no, no. They're going for your tower. And it's too late. Yeah. Harooooo's going to take the game. GG. And there you go. Yeah, Jasuke, I was thinking about defensive castle here as well, right? Because, you know, your opponent is on scout, you don't really want to move out. But again, if your opponent's scout are over here, you just go, okay, just batter down my tower, I guess. I'm going to take your tower. So, yeah, nice win from Harooooo. And it's good to see that he kept a level head after what happened in game 1. And he still managed to pull off the build properly and go for the castle. Yeah, true, true. So if you have something like 30 vills, the scouts cannot stop it. Oh, maybe that's why he stayed on. Yeah, because it felt like Harooooo was needlessly staying too long in feudal for a classic, you know, phosphor rush. He was adding some eco behind this. So maybe that was his thinking. Maybe he was never thinking about the defensive castle to begin with. He just wanted to have more vills to send forward and castle drop the opponent. That would make sense, yeah. Yeah, I guess Oliver would need, what, 15 scouts to stop that? He had forging, which is nice, to kill the vills. Yeah. Okay, so... Okay, yeah, this was kind of a quick stream, if you will, but I think I'm going to end it here, mostly because I want to stream tomorrow in the afternoon as well, so might as well keep some games for that. So, yeah, thank you all for watching. Is there anyone I can raid? Let's see. Nobody I know, but there's one guy with four viewers, so I'm going to rate them. Okay, there you go. Okay, again, thank you for watching. I'll be seeing you next time. Bye bye.